Tough loss. Really proud of the effort of the coaches and the players to put us in position to win. Bottom line, we need to be 19 seconds better. There's plays here and there and things that could have done better to where we didn't have to be 19 seconds better. Could have been a wider margin, but really proud of the effort coming out of the bye week, coming out of what's been a challenging season for them to come out and compete the way they did. They continue to persevere and stay the course, which has been one of our major messages to these guys as we build this program, to stay the course and don't flinch. This week is all about our seniors, period, bar none. We want to give them the kind of week they deserve with everything they've been through, and we're going to work to do that and hopefully give them a victory on Saturday against ODU, which is a very formidable opponent, and it starts with Tyler Heineke. He's an outstanding quarterback. He moves with his feet. He's got a good arm, quick release. He's an NFL prospect for a reason. He's good, and I've been fortunate to see a lot of good quarterbacks over the years, and he definitely ranks up there. Their defense is led by senior Mike linebacker DJ Simon. I think he has like 83, 84 tackles. He's a good player. And their punt returner has 2 touchdown returns, and they blocked a punt. So you're talking about all 3 phases that have major contributors. So that's where we're at. Like I said, the week is all about the seniors, and we'll rally and regroup and have a great week of practice and compete on Saturday afternoon.
A lot of these seniors have been through 4 coaches, kind of, Brian. I'm sure you kind of feel for them and all this turbulence, and they were even talking about how tough it's been to go from one system to another. And just kind of talk about the struggles that they've been through and how tough it's been.
It really has been challenging for them, and in one part, I think, because every coach has their slogans, their sayings, their core beliefs. They've been through 4 sets of core beliefs. So I walked into fortunate or unfortunate, a similar situation in Arkansas, in that Petrino, followed by John L., followed by us. And the parallels in the culture and the state of the locker room really are fascinating. I've talked about it before. And their 30-0 win over Ole Miss was no surprise to me, just that they're having success, having nothing to do with the Ole Miss-Arkansas matchup, because I know what Brett's building. I know the culture that he's building, the culture for stability, and I feel those parallels as we're here. It's challenging for those kids, and you have new languages every year. One year it's Chinese, the next year it's Vietnamese, then Spanish, then French. I mean, that's bottom line is I've seen media members come into staff meetings at one point or another and hear us talk, and unless you guys have ever experienced that, what has become a language for us, when people walk in and have never heard that language in a meeting room, it can take you back. And they've had to go through that transition 4 times, at least 3. So I feel for them. I told the kids after the game on Saturday night that this week is going to be about the seniors, and my only regret is that I don't get more time with them, because these are good kids, and I'm proud of them for persevering.
I asked Lucky,
Mm-hmm.
and he mentioned this was important, not only for the seniors, but how having the losses that you guys have had going into the offseason, how much do you need a win to solidify the program and also keep the program moving in a certain way that you want, and not getting business on a 5 game.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is to continue to show progress. I mean, there's things that you can point to on film where there's marked progress. Jay Warren, he was not going to lose the ball on Saturday. He was not going to do it, and you could see it, whether he covered it with 2 hands or on his way down, squeezed with the pressure point from his elbow, and I'm proud of him for that. And he was productive, almost had 100 yards, and that's marked progress. Jared Ward played better. Caleb Woods went up and made a contested catch for a touchdown that is as good as you'll see. Jensen Stoshak had 9 catches. Quez managed the game very well. So the biggest thing, Nate, is us to continue to show progress. Let the scoreboard take care of itself. Our record right now is 0-0. The scoreboard is 0-0, and that's going to be our approach again on Saturday afternoon.
Can you talk a little bit about Stoshak? I mean, he's been nominated for that walk-on award, and that might have been his best game, I thought. Just the progress you've seen even this year.
He's such a hard worker. There's actually times we have to dial him down in practice, Brian, because we're worried that he won't be ready for Saturday. That's just how hard he works. You say half speed, he doesn't even understand what you're talking about. He's a worker. He he leads by example. Anxious to work with him this offseason as he goes into his senior year to become more of a vocal leader. We need that from him because he's so well respected. But he's got great hands. He competes for the ball. He runs the route that you expect, and that's comforting for a quarterback. And it kind of all came together for him on Saturday night, and I'm not surprised.
Were you making an active effort to try to get him the ball, or was that more a product of what you were seeing on defense and them focusing on Lucky?
We really have been making an active effort all year, and for one reason or another, either we, worked away from him because the coverage that was presented. He's someone that we've been working to get the ball to all year, and it could be a byproduct of what we were seeing on Saturday. It worked out. We're able to get it to him more.
You look at what Arkansas is doing, that's the second year for that program.
Yep.
Right? I mean, is that something this program can aspire to? They've obviously taken a huge jump as this season has gone on.
I hope so. It's all relative. There's things that we work to get in place. Right when I walked in the doors, an example is nutrition support. That nutrition, when you walk into an SEC school, you say, I want this there, and it's kind of done. Here we fight, scratch, claw. That's the nature of what it is. And by June, we had the nutrition support these kids at this level deserve, from the kitchen in the locker room to constantly being surrounded by food, to a fourth meal for everyone that's in our 105. So we go into this offseason after competing against ODU on Saturday in a completely different place. We have a football-only strength coach, which last year at this time we had a strength coach that was in charge of 19 sports. Now we have a football-only strength coach. I mean, we are in a completely different place to attack this offseason as we progress and move forward. So I can see a sizable jump in terms of how we perform on the field. Now, we're going to miss these seniors, and we've got to make up for the production of a Lucky. That's why it's so exciting to see Bussy make that play, for him to make that big play. And that play, I got to give credit to Quez, Coach Wright, and Bussy, because that was something that we caught on tape through the course of our prep, and we ended up deciding to install it on Friday. And it's really, you don't do that a lot, but we decided it was worth it. We had a shot to make a big play that if they show this, then we could check this. They executed it and ended up putting us in position for points. So a lot of credit goes into that play, and Bussy taking over for hopefully some of the production that Lucky has given us over the course of the season.
Dijon mentioned what Brian was saying, the turmoil with the four coaches, and he said, got to stay the course if they keep the same coaching staff for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that your job is in any jeopardy, but it's got to feel comforting to know the guy that you didn't even recruit feels that way about the program, right?
It does, and I've worked hard to do it consciously, and it's just the reason I coach is the wins are going to take care of themselves. It's a byproduct. I mean, I'm going back to December 17th, almost a year ago. The reason I coach is to help these young men become better young men, and the wins will take care of themselves. So with that being said, I've formed a bond with these seniors in a short 11 months that for some of them it's going to last a lifetime. Some of them I may not hear from them for a few years, and they call back, and both are okay. But it does mean a lot. And I've told the kids this too. I do what I do because of what I believe in. I'm not going to flinch. Job security is not something that I have any fear of this year or really, period, because I believe in what I believe. We've got 4 cornerstones of how to win today, and that's how we're going to do it. We're going to stay the course, and in a couple years you can really see it and feel it coming. This is going to be a hard ticket to get. We're going to be a very good football team. Coaches in the league know where we're going. The comments and the conversations I have with coaches in the league are very complimentary and sincere. And some guys that I've had long-time relationships with, and some that I've really gotten to know over the last year. So excited about where we're going. Not going to make any predictions, but you can feel everything stabilizing as we move forward.
With the seniors in general, I mean, you used a lot of trying to get them to be leaders for the following kids on down. How has that progressed over the year, and how much did you see that, especially in these last 2 games with the injuries and the circumstances with North Texas and Middleton?
Well, I'll give you a couple examples. Andre Kirk, and I think I've mentioned this in here before, the amount of times I walk into my office and see him in Rock's office right next to mine with Jared Ward, Jake Stewart, young guys, he's teaching them, and he's holding meetings with them. You can't get better leadership than that. So that's one example. kind of working my way through the depth chart, and that's an example there. I had one in my head. Bear with me a second. Tony Moore. He was the one I was thinking of. You know, we took Tony on the trip. We knew it was going to be his last trip, away game with Florida Atlantic, even though we knew he wouldn't be available. His leadership and his encouragement on the sideline, it was tangible. You could feel it, you could touch it, and that's another example of senior leadership. And we'll keep training him and keep working to build our leaders as we build the program.
Buddy Howell didn't play the other night.
Yeah.
You hoping to play this week?
I hope so, but we'll see how he progresses. And hamstrings are tricky things. You know, he's working his way up to a fast jog. You know, if he has some really good progress in the next few days, we're hopeful, but we're not counting on it. Tony Moore, similar, very similar. You know, he's starting to do some more movement things, and we're hopeful, but not counting on it.
And how about just any of the guys that didn't play this past weekend? Are you expecting any of them back?
Joe Gold, similar situation, hopeful but not counting on it. Trying to think who else. Robert Ralph, similar. Yep, still going through the protocol. Anytime in a concussion protocol, anytime you have any symptom of any kind, you go back to protocol 1. So he's working his way through the protocol still, and see where it is by the end of the week. Hopeful. We're hopeful on that one. We're hopeful that he'll be back. He was moving pretty well by the end of the week. Not quite where he'd be able to go against pressure, against an O-lineman, and hold the point, but we're hopeful that he'll be ready this Saturday.
Damien can be able to go again.
Damien, I think, will be able to go again. Yep.
Anthony Hamilton.
Right now, I'd say doubtful, but we'll see by the end of today.
What is his issue?
It's a knee. Yep. And don't have full prognosis on that yet.
Am I missing anyone?
Yeah. Michael Harrop, of course, out for the season. Reggie Brown out for the season. Brandon Bryant out for the season. Shalom is in a similar situation where we're hopeful but not counting on him.
Shalom traveled with you guys.
He did.
And did he see any time?
No, he did not. Yeah, he's working his way through the protocol, and we wanted to bring him in case he was cleared, and he wasn't cleared, so we dressed him but kept his helmet away from him, so he didn't run on the field. Yep.
When you look back at the game on Saturday, are there certain things that you, looking after the film, would have liked to change or tweak at all?
Yeah, when they were working their way down, they got into a 10 pistol set and 10 picture, 4 wideouts, 1 running back, had some success stretch, running an outside play, and then cutting up into the middle. I wish I had helped a little more could have tweaked a thing here or there to help disrupt that fit and help us stop that. It's a good running back. I mean, he's fast, so you're responding outside quickly because he's good. I mean, it's a good quality group of players from that team. And so we went to pursue. He was able to cut it up and find a hole, and they had some success on it. So that's one thing I wish I could have helped tweak.
Still good with the fake punt call?
Absolutely. I mean, he couldn't have been any more open. A common response is, who's going to do that when you have the lead, when you're backed up? That's when you do it. Okay? Who's going to kick an onside kick just after you scored against Tulsa? Someone that's playing to win and someone that's using the momentum that they have. That's when you call it. That's when they don't expect it. Knew on film that it was going to be there. It was there. We didn't get it done.
Was there any discussion on the sideline after scoring the touchdown with 6 minutes ago to go 2?
Yeah. Honestly, there was 5:20 left, and our conversation until too late was about, all right, listen, here's what we need to do. We need to get a stop, and we need to get a couple first downs. In hindsight, should have gone for 2. Would have put us in position where we probably would have been in overtime. I regret not going for 2. The conversation had gone with 5:20 left in the game. All right, we just need to stop and a couple first downs here, and we're going to be in good shape.
You hope not to be
In that position, yeah, but hindsight being 2020, you wish you had gone for 2 there.
Is that what those first-year head coach things? I'm sure. I mean, it's the kind of thing you never think about.
Yeah. The next time that we score to go up by 12, we'll go for 2. So that answers your question. Yeah.
If there's one guy on this team whose body seems to be NFL ready, it's Alex DeLeon. How would you rate his season? He doesn't seem to have been involved maybe as much as you'd hope this year.
Yeah, I think people recognized him as a weapon and did a good job taking him away. Boy, he had a really nice run down the sideline on, play action where he was able to sneak out the back, and you can see what he can do with the ball in his hands. And a couple plays later, we end up getting it to him in the back of the end zone. He's a weapon in the pass game, and he's gotten much, much better as a blocker, which has been something that he needed to do this year to develop his chances for the next level, and I think his progress has been marked.
As a defensive line coach,
Mm-hmm.
I know you're not there, but I think what you're saying, having the ability for teams to just run the ball right at you has got to be dispiriting.
Yeah, that's oftentimes the response is, when teams are able to get movement on you, that our D-line must be struggling. There's so many more moving parts. Our safeties in today's game have to be involved in the fit. Linebackers obviously are involved in the fit from distance. Without getting too technical, you can't really put that blame on them entirely. It's the whole package.
But and maybe it's just the way the defense is designed. I look at the tackles just from your defensive linemen, and the numbers, I mean, they may have combined for less than 10 in that game, which maybe they're trying to occupy blockers and you're trying to get the linebackers and people in there. But is that, I mean, you want to see more.
Part of it was the nature of their running game. A lot of their running game was outside driven, with fast running backs. So outside, cut back inside as guys are moving laterally. They're progressing, like you said. They're young and we're beat up, and we've got 2 of our top 4 D tackles out right now, and that's part of it too. Just keep progressing.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, outside of Helm playing the majority of the first half, were there any other changes that you made to sort of getting other guys rotated in on Saturday?
Well, Ward started, which we knew.
Right.
Ray Ellis started. Butch played a lot. Denzel Whitfield, by need, played D tackle and D end. Those were the majors on defense.
Is it, we've got 1 game left in the season, and
Mhm.
you've had these runs you should have been mounting, defending the run. Is it almost too late to try and fix this thing?
Well, no, I'm proud of the progress that we made. We made a lot of progress across the board, and there's no flinch. We're good. We'll continue to get better. There's no one quick fix. It's build the entire thing. It's learn. Let's get better. Let's get better fundamentally each and every day. You're a freshman, keep getting better, right? You're a young player, keep getting better. Linebackers fitting faster. Safeties making the tackle when they're at the line of scrimmage when we need to. It's not as simple as, okay, we're going to blitz a lot more. We're going to change the defense to this or that. That's not it. It's continue to get better and build a foundation. And the defense works. There's no issues there, and we'll keep progressing.
But I know we talked on Saturday about your guys' ability not to get that one play in the last minute, whether it was Saturday or UAB or Wyoming. How do you prepare kids for those situations when there could be a lack of fatigue, there could be a lack of things happening really fast because it's the last minute or so? How can, I don't know if this is about moving forward, but how can you better get the guys in position to make those plays?
Well, it's play in and play out, progress. That's really what it is. It's, last week we talked about the fast start. Well, we set records in fast starts. So, right, we got that squared away. Okay, so we started with a 78-yard touchdown, longest run in history from FAU, right? And I think the quickest scored touchdown from line of scrimmage. So we got that squared away. Okay. This game, like you've noted, we're about 7 or 8 plays away from being in a bowl game. How do you change that? Stay the course. Develop them right away, starting in the break, where they'll get workouts to them. Keep building the roster. Stay the course.
Squared away, you think you have that fast, slow start problem late completely, or is that, kind of only 1 game, right?
Well, we're talking about 19 seconds at the end of a game is essentially what we're talking about, right?
Well, I'd actually moved on to the slow start. I mean, do you think you've got the formula now to continue to start quickly in games?
We started quickly this past week, so I'm proud of that. Proud of that progress.
From a first year coaching standpoint, is there, amidst the struggles that you've had, is there sort of things that you're thankful that the team has had to go through, that you've had to go through in this first year?
Yeah, I think anytime you face adversity, you come out of that stronger as a group, as a team. We've played a lot of players. You want to point to positives as we move forward. We played a lot of young players. So all those young players, the Bussies, the Caleb Woods, the Joe Golds, the Reggie Baines, the Ray Ellises, the Jared Wards, all those, the Rock Williams, all those guys, that game experience is invaluable. And they go into next season with that kind of game experience, and they're leading now like a veteran. They're leading their classmates like a veteran, as we count on some of those guys coming out of their redshirt year that I've talked about a lot that are developing right now to stay the course and stay the formula. And that will help this program continue to be built.
You guys do you travel with?
Well,
I'm asking this.
by rule, we travel with 70.
Okay.
We have not traveled with 70 for a couple weeks.
Lucky mentioned 20 freshmen, and I knew a lot were playing, but that's almost a third of your travel roster.
Yeah, with the number we're traveling, it is about a third. Last week we took 64 or 6.
You don't take the other guys just because you don't want to burn their red shirt?
Well, traveling them doesn't affect their red shirt. It's just if they.
The fact that you may look over and say, hey, he's here.
No, it's a lot about kids that are redshirted. We have finals next week. Let's let them focus on finals and get our grades right, because that's, again, talking about building a program. That's a big part of it too.
Does Tom have another year left?
He does not. No, this is his final. I'll miss him. I'll miss all these guys.
Just talking baseball.
What a story.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Could there be a certain thing that you wanna focus on, or have you identified a specific thing that you wanna focus on for this last game to move the program forward?
Continued progress. I mean, literally, it truly is don't flinch, stay the course. The formula works. I've said it since the beginning. Football is not rocket science. Do your job, beat a block, make the catch, break up the catch, make the pass. It's what style you've committed to, stay to that style, continue to get better, develop your players. And these plays that some of them were making, some of them were not, will make it a higher percentage as the program grows.
Timing of the game, combined with the recent run that you guys are on, I was going to go out on a limb and saying that there might not be very many people here on Saturday. Is that concerning?
I'm grateful for every single person that walks into that stadium on Saturday. We have a group of students that have been loyal to us. We have a group of fans that have been loyal to us, and I'm grateful for every one of them. And we're going to do a nice job honoring the seniors. It's Military Appreciation Day. I know the Coast Guard is planning on doing a flyover. They're working on the details of that, which is cool. The only flyover I've seen is at the Rose Bowl. How many flyovers have you seen, Chuck?
I barely saw one, and that was the opening of the stadium when the
Yeah.
Coast Guard flew over and everybody went, is that it?
No, you're right. It's a helicopter.
So there's about, I think we're going to start the timeline about 8 minutes from kickoff. We'll tunnel with the team and honor our seniors to go out and meet their family and take a picture and put those emotions away, because regardless, the loyal fans that are there will still create the emotion. I saw some of the emotion this morning in my office. I had a senior in there that sat down, and who I'll leave nameless. I said, "Are you okay?" He said, "I just can't believe it." And until you're in that week, in that moment, and tomorrow's their last practice, their last Tuesday practice at the Ox. And that countdown starts to happen. Thursday's their last practice at the Ox. The emotions you can't help but getting caught up in, and it's about them. And I'm grateful for everyone that's in that stadium.
Will it be a challenge, or has it been a challenge in your previous experience harnessing that emotion on senior day to
it's something you,
round or two round up.
I have seen that happen, and it's something you need to address. It's something you need to talk about during the course of the week. That it's okay, there's going to be tears, and that's okay. That's fine. But now get yourself together. Let's play a football game, and we'll talk to him about that throughout the course of the week.
They showed a shot on TV of Brett getting teared up with one of your D linemen.
Probably, yeah. There's a couple of them. I would imagine Trey Flowers, who's,
Yeah, exactly.
Trey could have come out last year and probably been I'm not going to guess the round, but he would have been drafted high enough where you could understand why he would come out. And Trey stayed because he believed in the foundation that was being built. So, and Trey's played great this year and will up his draft status because of the kind of year he's played. And if I were there, I'd have been crying with him.
Did you talk to Brett?
Talked to him this morning. I did. I talked to him this morning. He didn't watch our game but saw the result and just reminded me everything I'm saying to you guys. Don't flinch. Stay the course. What you're building is right. I talked to him quite a bit, and I obviously congratulated him and told him, like I told you guys, I'm not surprised at the success he's having. It just took that win. They were so close, almost at Alabama, so close, almost at Mississippi State. Then they got that win against LSU. Then it happens.
Now Missouri, right?
Yeah, I think they're in Missouri this week, yep.
It's a big game.
Yeah. Close. They're close.